I'm going to ask it one more time. How many of y'all are glad to be here today? No matter what the week brought you, can you give God praise? He let you see another day by his grace and his mercy. We're grateful to God for his presence. Thank God. All right, listen, I want y'all to do this. Can you give God praise for the most gifted, the most talented young people in this whole state? They're going to come bless you. Come on. Give God praise for them. Ron Boast.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. I once was lost, but now I'm found. That's why I open my mouth to the Lord, and I won't turn back. I will go, I shall go, to see what the end's gonna be. Satan's mad, and I am glad to see what the end's gonna be. He lost the soul he thought he had. To see what the end's gonna be. That's why I open my mouth to the Lord, and I won't turn back. I will go, I shall go, to see what the end's gonna be.
You can talk about me just as much as you please.
To see what the end's gonna be.
The more you talk, I'm gonna stay on my knees. That's why
I open my mouth to the Lord, and I won't turn back. I will go, I shall go, 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 to see what the end's gonna be. To see
Y'all give it up for Sister Jamie and them kids. Now I know y'all can do a little bit better than that. Come on, give God. Hallelujah. Come on, rest on your feet. Rest on your feet. Matthew, the 25th chapter. When we left church last Sunday, it was 68 degrees. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. I didn't put no hat on, no scarf. I was like, it's wonderful. By Thursday, that thing jumped on me. I was barely breathing. And so pray for me as I got through 8:30 service with this word. I pray I can get through 10:30 service with this word, not being 100%, yet and still we're going to push through. Amen. Matthew 25, verse number 14. When you found it, shout, I got it. Matthew 25:14 says, for the kingdom of heaven is like a man traveling to a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to another 1, to every man according to his several abilities. Somebody say own ability. And straightway took his journey. Then he had received the 5 talents, went and traded with the same, and made other 5 talents. Verse 17. And likewise, he that received 2, he also gained other 2. Say other 2. Keep going. Amen. But he had received 1, went, digged in the earth, and hid the Lord's money. Somebody say he hid it. Say it again. Say he hid it. And after a long time, the Lord of his servants, those servants came and settled accounts with him. So he had received 5 talents, came and brought 5 other talents, saying, Lord, you delivered to me 5 talents. Look, I've gained 5 more. Somebody say 5 more. His Lord said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You were faithful over a few things. I'll make you rule over many things. Enter into the joy of the Lord. He also had received 2 talents, came and said, Lord, you delivered to me 2 talents. Look, I've gained 2 more talents besides them. His Lord said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You've been faithful over a few things. I'll make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of the Lord. Then who had received 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you have not sown, gathering where you've not scattered. And I was afraid and went and hid your talent in the ground. Look, there you have what is yours. But his Lord answered and said, you wicked and lazy servant. You knew that I reap where I have not sown and gather where I have not scattered seed. So you ought to deposit my money with the bankers. And at my coming, I would have received back my own with interest. So take the talent from him and give it to him who has 10 talents. A few minutes, I want to talk from the subject, work with what God gave you. Somebody say, work with what he gave you. Do it again, say, work with what he gave you. One of my favorite poems that I was introduced to at an early age comes from the award-winning poet, laureate Nikki Giovanni. Of all the poems she had penned, this one has stuck with me even till today. The poem is entitled Ego Tripping. And in this poem, here's a snippet. It says, I was born in the Congo. I walked to the Fertile Crescent and built the Sphinx. I desired a pyramid so tough that a star that only glows every 100 years falls into the center, giving perfect divine light. I am bad. I sat on the throne drinking nectar with God. I got hot and sent an ice age to Europe to cool my thirst. My oldest daughter is Nefertiti. The tears from my birth pains created the Nile. I am beautiful. I gazed on the forest and burned out of the Sahara Desert with a packet of goat's meats, and I changed clothes. I crossed it in 2 hours. I am a gale so swift you cannot catch me. My son Noah built the ark. I stood proudly at helm as we sailed on a soft summer day. I turned myself into myself, and I was Jesus. Me intoned into my loving name. All praises, I am the one who would save. I sow diamonds in my backyard. My bowels deliver uranium. The fillings from my fingernails are semi-precious jewels. On a trip north, I caught a cold and blue. My nose giving oil to the Arab world. I'm so hip, even my errors are correct. I'm so perfect, so divine, so ethereal, so surreal. I cannot be comprehended except by my permission. I mean, I can fly like a bird in the sky. This poem, for those who are familiar with it, shares with us the disposition, the attitude, the mindset, and the belief one has to have in themselves and in their God. Somebody say their God. Miss Giovanni gives the reader of this poem nuggets as to how to believe in the gifts that God has given you. Although she speaks in the first person, she wants all to embrace the intent of her poem, and that is from the outset to believe in yourself and the gifts that God placed in you. Somebody shout, I'm gifted. She concludes with the powerful statement, I can fly like a bird in the sky. What audacity, what confidence, what belief to embrace what God put in you and believe you can fly like a bird in the sky. Beloved, all of us have been given the privilege to sit here today because there were those who believed so much in themselves and in their God. We're able to sit here today because there were those who before us who understood they were gifted and that their gifts were not for themselves, but for those who would come after them. Beloved, we sit here today on the shoulders of gifted folk. Say gifted folk. I can't hear nobody. Say gifted folk. We sit here today on the shoulders of gifted folk who refused to be refused and who denied to be denied. They used the gifts that God gave them in order to glorify God, but also empower the next generation. None of us is a single book. Say yes, y'all. But we are but a chapter in a book that has many chapters before us of folk who, when they discovered their gift, discovered their ability, discovered their skill, they used it and transformed the world God gave them. Say yes, y'all. Our ability to sit here today, eat where we want, drink where we want, shop where we want, live where we want, did not just occur, but it took some folk who defied the odds stacked against them and used their gift. Somebody say gift. Do better. Say gift. Don't ever think that somehow you just arrived to the place you're at. Somebody had to believe in themselves, their gift, and the God they served in order for you to be here. Say yes. Call a roll, Coleman. Well, let me do it for you. What would life be like for you if Frederick didn't speak, if Booker didn't build, if Du Bois didn't write, if Harriet Tubman didn't liberate, if Jarena Lee didn't preach, if Nat didn't rebel, if A. Philip didn't organize, if Medgar didn't mobilize, if Martin didn't march, if Sarah didn't sing, if Ella didn't scat, if Cole didn't croon, where would you be without the poetic genius of Gwendolyn Brooks, Countee Cullen, and Claude McKay? Where would you be without the sultry singing of Billie Holiday, Teddy Pendergrass, and Luther? A house is not a home. Vandross. I knew I'd wake some of y'all up right there. Where would you be without the tenacity of Shirley Chisholm, the guts of Jesse Jackson, and the brilliance of Barack Obama? Where would you be if it were not for the prayers of your grandmother and your grandfather? Where would you be if it were not for the ancestors that suffered for you to be here, that died for you to be here, that marched for you to be here, that were gifted enough for you to be here? Is there anybody in the house that could give God glory? Somebody shout, I know that's right. So you can't sit in church looking nice, smelling nice, driving nice, thinking you got here on your own. You're standing on the shoulders of folk who believe for you to be here. Say yes. It is with this aforementioned statement that I'm able to declare to you that just like they were gifted, here it is, transition. You and I are gifted too. Somebody shout, I'm gifted. I'm about to bless y'all in a major way. Say, I'm gifted. Doesn't matter your age, your background, your ethnicity, your pedigree, you're gifted. Doesn't matter if you've been saved or got saved yesterday, you're gifted. Doesn't matter if you made mistakes or you have no mistakes, you're gifted. Doesn't matter if you have money or don't have money, you're gifted. Doesn't matter if you grew up in church or if this is your first Sunday back to church, you're gifted. Doesn't matter if you dot every I and cross every T, you're gifted. It doesn't matter if you grew up on the wrong side of the tracks, you're gifted. Every person on the sound of my voice ought to give God glory because you're gifted. Look at your neighbor, say, I'm gifted. The book says it like this in Romans 11:29. For the gifts and calling of God are without repentance. Hear me, y'all. In other words, God has not changed his mind about you. Y'all just missed a whew. And if God gave you a gift, it doesn't matter what has happened in your life, that gift is still on your life. Somebody needs to celebrate the fact that when it comes to God gifting you, God has not changed his mind. There's nothing you can do or can happen to you that can cause God to change his mind. When you woke up this morning, you were gifted. When you got dressed, you were gifted. When you got in your car, you were gifted. When you got to Fifth Street, you were gifted. When you sat in the pew, you were gifted. And nothing in your life can change the gift that God has upon your life. Is there anybody that can give God a 5-second praise and shout, I'm gifted? Somebody say, I'm gifted. Hear me, y'all. Feel me. Look at me. Come on. God has poured into you so much that he wants it to come out of you. He wants it to come out of you to glorify his name and transform the world he's given you. Let me just bless you. Get past your feelings of inadequacy. Get past your feelings of low self-esteem. Get past your feelings about your shortcomings. Get past your feelings about your insecurity. You ain't the first person that's ever questioned themselves. Know that God still loves you. And if you believe in yourself and believe in God, you don't need man's approval to do what God has called you to do. You just had to pat yourself on your own back and know that you're all right with you. I need y'all to get that right there. Stop waiting on other people to confirm for you what God has already placed in your spirit. When you woke up this morning, you were beautiful, you were gifted, you were anointed, you were favored. I need 50 people to jump up if you believe that. I don't need you to tell me I'm beautiful. I know I'm beautiful. I don't need you to tell me I'm gifted. I know I'm gifted. Slap a neighbor and say, I know something about me. Howard Thurman says it like this. Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive and go do it. Because what the world needs is people who've come alive. You have something to contribute to the world. Your gift is the vehicle that delivers what God has put in you. Countless people have left this earth, look at me, y'all, with a whole lot of shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Countless people have left here never realizing they're an agent of change. But I come to declare to you that God does not make junk. I come to declare to you that God does not make mistakes. I come to declare to you that God is not making accidents. You were meant to be where you are. How do you know, Coleman? Because the book said, I'm fearfully and I'm wonderfully made. The book said, he that hath begun a good work and you shall perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. Stop discounting yourself and putting yourself on the clearance rack. You don't belong on the clearance rack, baby. You belong on the top shelf. I wish I had some folk in the house today. Stop acting like you are less than anybody else. When God made you, you're the best thing he ever made. Is there anybody that can give him glory right now? Slap your neighbor, say, you better ask somebody. You better ask somebody. The text this morning gives us a lesson on how to handle the gifts God has given you. Shout, I'm gifted. I'm almost done. Say, I'm gifted. The text teaches us we've been poured into. We've been poured into by God. But you got to be consciously aware of the expectations that come with the gift. Y'all know the parable. Man goes on a journey. Yeah, there it is. He gives 1, 5. He gives 1, 2. He gives 1, 1. The one that gets the 5 turns it, gets another 5. So that means he has how many, y'all? I know math ain't your thing, but I'll make sure you up. He says, gives 1, 2. He flips it, turns another 2. He has what? The one he gives 1 buries it and does nothing with it. As a result, he's condemned by the master for his inactivity. That's it in a nutshell, beloved. God gave him 5. He turned it into another 5. God gave 2, turned it into another 2. God gave 1. He did nothing with it. From the outset, I got to do this because I would be less than your pastor if I didn't do this. I want to just real quickly tell you, there is a difference between the world's definition of success and God's definition of success. See, the problem is the world says you're successful by what you own, what you're able to do for yourself, what you can flaunt or stunt in front of other people. The world says success is getting what you get and keeping what you get. The world says success is getting it and then showing off what you have. That's not how God sees success. Let me get this out here so that you all know. God doesn't mind you having nice things. Yeah. I like nice things. It's quiet in church today. How many of you all like nice things? Some of y'all like to dress nice, drive nice, smell nice, eat nice. Say amen. Ain't nothing wrong with that. All that bad theology, you got to be broke, busted, disgusted, that's bad theology, y'all. That's not. I wish above all things that you would prosper, even as your soul prosper. Right? So God doesn't mind nice things. Here's the problem. But when the nice things you have, you detach from the God that gave it to you, then you operating off the success of the world. You got nice things because of the God you serve. Some of us are back, we owe back taxes on our praise. You owe God for a nice car, your nice house, your nice degree, your nice job, your nice clothes, your nice closet. Is there anybody in here that could stand on your feet and give God praise for all of the nice? No. I said give him praise. You driving what your grandmama didn't drive. You living where your granddaddy couldn't live. You eating the way your folk couldn't eat. Is there anybody in here that could give God glory? Slap somebody and say, nobody but God, nobody but God. Yeah. So watch this. So don't lose it. God don't mind you being successful, but don't ever think that your success because of you. Your success is connected to him. So the master of the house goes on a journey, and he blesses each one. Walking. 5, 2, and 1. Say that, y'all. 5. The first lesson we learn from the text is not all of us are created with equal skills, gifts, and abilities. It's got to get murky right here. The text says that he gave to each according to their own ability. Are you with me? Hey, are y'all with me? I can't hear nobody. You with me? In other words, he gave them what he believed they could handle. Each person has been given what God believes you can handle. Stop underrating your gift. Stop undervaluing your gift. Stop minimizing your gift. Stop cheapening your gift. Stop discounting your gift. I'm going to blow y'all mind. Celebrate what the master gave you. Be secure in what God gave you. Too many times we realize what God put in us, we start minimizing it because it don't look like everybody else. We so busy in everybody else's lane, we don't celebrate what God gave us in our lane. Y'all not helping me in here. That's why you need to take your eyes off other folks' stuff, off what they got, because you don't know the hell that they went through to get what they got. You need to celebrate what you got. Now I said something, ain't another person in here celebrate. Whatever he gave you, you ought to be the first person praising God. Don't matter how big it is, doesn't matter how small it is, thank him for what you get. Is there anybody that could take 5 seconds and thank God for what you got? Watch this. This may not mean nothing to y'all, but this next line meant everything to Cole. Are you with me? This may not mean nothing to y'all, but it meant a whole lot to me. You got what you got because God believed in you. Can I tell you if God gave it to you, you don't need nobody to confirm it. You don't need approval from nobody else. Folk on your job don't know how gifted you are. Folk in your office don't know how gifted you really are. Stop measuring your success by what they think. Know that God gave you what you got because he loves you and he believes in you. Is there anybody that can give him glory right now? Watch this. When God's super jumps on your natural, they're going to look at you and say, how'd you get that promotion? How'd you get that raise? How'd you move up the company? How'd you buy that house? How'd you get that car? How'd you pay your child's tuition? How you making it? How you go to Europe and Paris and France? How you do it? You just don't know the God I serve. Because I'm gifted. He opened doors no man could shut. He shut doors no man can open. Is there anybody can give him glory, right? Slap a neighbor and say, I'm gifted. I'm gifted. That's one. That's one. So that's one. Here it is. Two. Hey, look at me. This is deep. If you're gifted, gifts require work. Look at mine. Inaction is not an option. The one that was given 5 didn't sit on 5. The one that was given 2 didn't sit on 2. They worked what they were given. You ain't done nothing if you gifted and cute. Cute ain't never paid a bill in my house. I can't get no help from no Negroes at Fifth Street today. Being pretty don't mean nothing. If you got a gift, you got to work the gift that he gave you. Come on, somebody. I can't get help nobody here. God put Adam and Eve in the garden and he said, work it. Paul tells a church at Thessalonica, a man that don't work, don't eat. Proverbs says, those who work that land will have abundant food, but those who chase fantasies have no sense. It's not enough to be gifted and talented. You got to work the gift that he gave you. And sometimes you got to do work when everybody else is sleeping. Y'all ain't. Get the church. You can't just be pretty because you ain't doing nothing. The one that got the one talent out of fear buried the talent because he was afraid. Somebody say afraid. Out of fear, he kept his talent buried. He did it because his fear is he would fail. This gonna bless 30. The rest of y'all make your grocery list out. Don't allow the fear of failure keep you from stepping out on faith. Watch this. Watch this, Cal. I'm about to clear the house. How many of you in here have failed at something? Some of y'all lying in church. You're a bold-faced liar. You're lying. Fail. Raise your hand. But do you stand as a living testimony that you can come back after failure? I wish I had some real folk at Fifth Street that can testify. Pastor Coleman, I messed up, but I came back. Pastor Coleman, I made mistakes, but I came back. Can I find 50 folk in here that can give God glory? Can I get somebody with a comeback praise? I came back. I messed up, but I got back on track. I failed, but I got back on my feet. Can I get somebody to give him glory right now? Watch this. Watch this. Here it is. Because we fail. This gonna bless 30 of y'all right now. But God never fails. God never fails. He abides with me. He gives me Vic. Y'all don't know the song. Oh my God. God never fails. Watch this. Because at some point in your life, you got to realize if you don't step out the boat, then you won't know you can walk on water. If you don't step out the boat, you don't know you have the power to make a difference. If you don't step out the boat, you don't know that God can do something in your life. I need 50 people in here that can jump up right now. If you've ever stepped out the boat and walked on water. Slap 3 people, say, walk on water, baby. Stop playing it safe. Stop acting like you're cute. Touch somebody and say, walk on water. God's got miracles with your name on it. He's got blessings with your name on it. He's got power with your name on it. He's got opportunities with your name on it. He's going to open doors with your name on it. I need you to jump up right now. Give him glory. Y'all killing me. Y'all know I'm sick. You know I'm sick. Here it is. Oh, Lord. It is. So watch this. I'm out. Don't hide. Do it. Stop there. Because what we have a tendency to do, we want to play small around people to make them feel better about you. I could care less what you think about what I'm gifted to do. If God gifted me, you need to take your insecure self and find a corner to go to, because God has blessed me. Can I find 40 people that need to tell that to 2 people this week? I'm not going to play small because I'm gifted. Somebody give him glory and shout, I'm gifted. Last point, I'm out of here. Last point, I'm out of here. If you're gifted, everything you do should be to give glory to God. Watch this, y'all. Do you know? Thank you, Lord. He just gave it to me. Do you know that you're a walking miracle every day? Hey. The fact that God will use you and I, broken, flawed, imperfect, messed up, crazy 3 days of the week. Help me, somebody. The fact that God would use us to show forth his glory is nothing but a miracle. The fact that God will use my feeble hands, my feeble mouth to do his work is nothing but a miracle. The fact that he wakes me up in the morning, puts my feet on terra firma, and allows me to exercise through life is nothing but a miracle from God. So watch this. When you're gifted, you don't mind telling folk, I wouldn't have what I have if it wasn't for him. I wouldn't be what I'm being if it were not for him. I can't go where I'm going if it wasn't for him. Everything I have, he gets the glory. He gets the glory. He gets the glory. Here's the problem. Don't let your gift point to you. Let your gift point to him. Everything you have is because of him. So watch this, Calvin. Some people, I got to be honest, Calvin. Some people don't like saying that because they think it's too churchy, and they don't want their friends to think that they that saved. I know I'm on the right street. So what they do is that they downplay it. Let me tell you something. You need to get over other people's opinions about your salvation. You would not have what you have if it were not for the Lord on your side. So when you use your gift, you need to say, God gave that to me. When you open the door, when the door is open for you, God opened the door. When the way is made, God made a way. When there's money in the bank, God put that money in the bank. When I get a new house, God gave me that house. When I get a new car, God gave me that car. Is there anybody in here that could jump on your feet and say, God gave it to me? But you got to work what he gave you. You got to work the gift that's inside of you. You got to stir up the gift. Give God glory if you believe you're gifted. Give God glory if you know you're gifted. Give God praise if you're a gifted child of God. Slap a neighbor and say, I'm gifted, and the devil can't do nothing about it. I'm gifted. Now let the redeemed of the Lord, let the gifted of the Lord give God glory, give God praise, give God honor. Somebody put your hands together. Throw your hands together if you're gifted and give him glory. Keep standing. Point to yourself. Say, I'm gifted. Yes. Say it again. Say it. Come on. Say it again. Say it. Declare it. I'm gifted. Don't ever discount yourself. Can I say it? Nobody can beat you at being you, baby. So you might as well walk in the authority he gave you. Somebody shout, I'm gifted. I'm gifted. I know I'm gifted. I'm gifted. Look at me. Don't ever put yourself, if he gave you something, here it is, y'all. He expects you to do something with it. Look, it's from a young folk, it doesn't matter. But listen, if he gave you something, you can't sit on it. Use what he gave you, man. Right? If he gave it to you, he can't take it from you because it's yours. Y'all missed it. God gave it to you. So use it. Maybe you have the gift of encouragement. Why are you not encouraging people? Maybe you have the gift of faith. Why are you not believing for other people? Maybe you have the gift of kindness. Somebody needs your kindness. But you can't sit on it. You can't sit on it. When, and I don't know how it happened, it just, my mother would testify, if she could, that when I was 12, 13, 14, I would mimic preachers. My sister can testify to it. I would mimic preachers. So we would be in the mall, right? I would be embarrassing my mother. And the Lord said, he gave her. Right? As soon as she go into like Nordstrom, won't he do it? My mother used to say, shut up, Barry, shut up, shut up. She'd tell the story today, shut up. Everywhere we went, the whole mall, I'd be hooping and preaching. She's like, she's stupid, right? But it was in those places God ordered my steps. I was playing. But once it get on you, you stop playing. Y'all, you don't play no more. Huh? You play, then you play get out of you. Because then you realize, oh, you gave me that gift? So whatever he's given your hand to do, no matter what your gift is, I implore you, don't sit on it. Step out the boat. You might fail, but God can bring you back from fail. Somebody give him praise right there. I believe that. Rest on your feet all over the building. Can you bless your neighbor and tell him you're gifted? Hug him and tell him you're gifted. Somebody needs to know that you're gifted. Woo. My God, today you're gifted. Hallelujah. Yes, Lord. Will I give? I'll do. Woo. Use me. Lift your hands. Come on. And enable me. Come on. Come on. To say, yes, sir. My storage. I'm available. Yes, sir. Love to you. God, that's what I want him to know today. Lift your hands. That's what I want God to know today.